Our next speaker is Marianne Renner. Marianne's a life coach. She's a dynamic speaker. She founded a nonprofit and took 2 junior dance teams to national gold medals. So give a warm welcome to Marianne Renner.
Thank you, Judd, for that warm welcome, and thank you all for having me. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm going to do this really quick. I've got a 2.5-hour workshop I'm going to give you in about 15 minutes, so strap on your seatbelts. I want to start with a question. How many of you have ever had a day that goes like this? Busier than all get out. At the end of the day, you're absolutely exhausted. You have done nothing but go, go, go from the time you got up to the time you went to bed. And you look around and you say, what just happened? It's the kind of day where you go home at the end and you say to your significant other or the cat or the bird or the dog or whoever you talk to, and they say, how was your day, honey? And you just, oh, busy. I'm exhausted. So the natural question is, oh, tell me about it. And you can't, because you can't think of what you actually accomplished. Have you ever had a day like that? Yeah. Me too. Me too. It's what I call getting stuck in the chaos. It's like being in a car and your foot is on the gas, the pedals to the metal, the engine is revved, the wheels are going, but the problem is you're in the mud. So mud is flinging everywhere. You've got a lot of action going on, but there's no forward momentum. So I was just asked last week on a webinar, Marianne, why do people struggle with goals? And in a word, it's this chaos or the distraction. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about, goals. And I'm going to give you 3 points really quickly. The first is, why do people struggle with goals? The second is, why are goals even important? Why is it important for my meaning and deep sense of fulfillment to have goals? And then thirdly, I have a 5-step process that'll get you there every time. And I have it on your tables. I may not get through all of that, but you've got the information there. So the first thing that I do is, I talk to people about, I work with clients one-on-one and ask them to talk about the distractions. And there are basically 3 categories. There's firefighting, where, something fell through the cracks, the deadline's passed, everything has to stop so we can get the proposal out the door, or I've got an employee issue, or I've got an emergency at home, but I've just got to stop everything to get through the firefighting. And the second is the things that are easy to do, and quite frankly, I have a big, long to-do list, and it just feels doggone good to cross that thing off the list. That's what's near and dear to my heart. Sometimes I'll write down on my list, brush my teeth, make my breakfast, just because I want to cross it off the list. All right, and then the third category of a distraction is, things that I enjoy doing. The phone rings, I'm really busy, but I see it's somebody I really enjoy talking to, so I'm going to pick it up, or check my Facebook page or whatever. But at the end of the day, none of these things move us closer toward our goals. We're not moving the ball down the field, okay? So first thing that I do is I have this conversation with people before we even get into the goal setting. Because if you don't have the commitment and the discipline to avoid the distractions, you're sunk before you even get started. So I'll ask them, why are goals important to you? First of all, I'm curious to know from you, how many of you have written, documented goals that you track and you follow on a regular basis? If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Just curious. You'll be in good company. This is amazing. And I told Judd the first time I came to one of these, I said, this is a great group of people. Because I'm seeing about 30, 40%, and typically when I talk to people, it's less than 20%. Right, Brian? Do you see that? Very few people do this. And so part of the reason is because we just don't have that connection to the importance of goals to our lives. So I'll ask them, why do you think goals are important? And inevitably I get all kinds of different answers, but there are some general themes. In fact, I just read an article that said the 2 greatest human needs are for growth and contribution. So goals help us to fulfill those needs, right? We all have them whether they're documented or not. I want to graduate from college. I want to buy that first house. I want to save for my kids' college education. I want to save for when my kids graduate college and move back home with me. I want to retire at a certain age and have a certain lifestyle. So we all have them. And I'll ask, well, how does that make you feel? How does it make you feel when you're able to send your kids to college and provide opportunities for them? And I hear things like accomplished, successful, proud, significant. like I'm contributing to something. It's very meaningful to say I'm giving to my community. I heard Linda, I don't know if she's still here, but you know, a life of service where you're contributing to the community. I'm contributing to my family. I'm contributing something to my place of employment. So that feels so great. So I'll ask them, close your eyes and visualize and tell me, what does it feel like when you're lacking in those areas? And it's pretty yucky. So now we've created this connection to the importance of goals. So they just went from nice to have to a must have. It's what I call a burning platform. The house is on fire. The only thing I can think about is getting out and putting out the fire. I'm not going to stop and chit chat with the neighbors. So we create this importance, this burning platform to the goal. Then we're ready to go through the process of setting goals. So first we create the mindset. Brian talked a little bit about mindset. That's 80% of it, quite frankly. So my 5-step process, real quick. I use the word process as an acronym, PROS-S, and the P stands for, excuse me, for the problem to solve. So this is what's really important. Your problem is, I'm here and I want to get there. The goal is to get there. So how am I going to get there? Okay, that's the problem to solve. And the important thing to remember is that your problem needs to be clear and concise, focused and narrow. Right? Remember, I don't know, were you ever in middle school or junior high? Did you have archery? Back in my day, we had archery. And, you know, we weren't asked to shoot our arrow at 8 different targets. There was one target and one bullseye about this big. So we could get very specific and hit that bullseye. But if you're trying to hit everything, you can't. If everything is important, nothing is important. And that's where it all starts, and that's one of the biggest problems that I see with people. I'll hear, I want to improve the bottom line on my business. It's not very clear and concise. Are you trying to improve productivity of your staff? Are you trying to cut costs? Are you trying to find new customers to sell to? Are you trying to cross-sell service to current customers? So I recently had someone say to me, I want to get organized. And I said, well, what does that look like? Help me understand what that looks like. Well, I'm all over the place. I need a project planning system. And, you know, quite frankly, I have problems with scheduling. And because my teams are in different locations, I can never finish what I start because I'm being pulled from one thing to the other. I said, that's 3 problems. Let's pick one. So you've got to be clear and concise. The next is the R. The PR, the second step, is recording your results. And you've got to document your results for 2 reasons. One is you need a scoreboard to know whether you're winning or losing the game. Football's coming up. If the Bears wait till the end of the quarter to look at the scoreboard, they've already lost the game. So you've got to have a way to document every single day your progress, because you need to know if you're off track so you can course correct. And then the second reason recording your results is important is because we need that momentum and motivation to keep going. So what I tell people is it's important to identify what I call a daily behavior metric. All right? So quick example, if I want to lose 10 pounds and I get on the scale on Monday, nothing is different from the day before. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, you see where I'm going? By Thursday, the weekend's coming, and so I might as well just forget it and have fun because this is driving me crazy. So what is the daily behavior metric? What is something I can do in my behavior every day that if I do that, I will be able to reach my goal? Can I go for a walk for 30 minutes after dinner every night? Okay? So now, if going for a walk after dinner every night is my daily behavior metric that I'm recording and tracking, now, every single day I can feel successful. Every day I went for a walk, I feel successful and I see progress, so I'm motivated to keep going. My godson was in T-ball this year. Have you ever been to a 5-year-old's T-ball game? I'm judging by the giggles that you have. It's a riot. It's hysterical. So he's doing everything but playing the game. He's in the outfield. He turns around. His back is to the infield, and you see his head going up and down like this. What is he doing? He turns around. The bill of his cap is all white. He's picking up the dirt from the infield, putting it on his cap, and then watching it fall into his mitt. He runs second base. He runs the bases after he hits the ball, and he sits down and he starts talking to the second baseman. But it dawned on me that we're not that different than 5-year-olds, at least I'm not. There wasn't enough progress. There wasn't enough momentum. He didn't have enough consistent short bursts of feeling good about the game, so he succumbed to distractions. Okay. So the other 3, they're on the card. I list out obstacles. I have my clients talk about what are all the obstacles that you think are going to get in the way so we can then identify solutions. And then finally, a sustainment strategy so that once I lose those proverbial 10 pounds, I don't gain them back. In a word, 3 steps. We work on mindset, action plan, and then going out and following the plan. I recently had a client call me and say, he said, Marianne, I need a new job in 3 weeks. He's a young gentleman in Los Angeles, had a young family, 3-hour commute, round trip, and very unhappy in his job. I said, I can't guarantee you that we'll find you a job in 3 weeks, but I can guarantee if we work on some things around mindset, you will absolutely see accelerated results toward your goals. I kid you not, true story, 3 weeks. He had an interview for the job of his dreams, right close to his house. So this concept, you follow this, it works. But mindset is where it starts. I'll close with this. It's time to close. I truly believe that each of us is here to fulfill a unique purpose. Everyone in this room has a unique purpose in this life, and goals help us to discover, pursue, and fulfill that purpose. So at the end of the day, we can say, I have done all that I was put here to do, and I've become all I was put here to become. If any of you feel stuck in a job, in life, I would like to extend an invitation to you for a 60 to 90 minute coaching conversation, deep dive at no charge. There are cards on the table with my contact information. You have to call me and contact me, and I'm happy to do that. I'll stick around. If I love this stuff, I'm passionate about it, so I'll stick around if anybody wants to talk afterward. Thank you so much.